want to hear what Kendrick has to say.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Pussy, weed, and alcohol. Pussy,
weed, and alcohol. Who said that shit?
That's a song, man. Right, Carlos?
Yeah.
What's the song
I was thinking
again?
about that's the name of it. Pussy, weed, and alcohol, ain't it? Ain't that the name of the song?
Pussy, weed, and alcohol.
Yeah. He's on that weed and alcohol.
Okay, y'all ready? So here we go.
So you doing this one, right?
Yep. So here we go. This is Ghost of the Past. Ooh. So what's up, everybody? Welcome. This is Brown Liquor and Cigars. And hey, we're about to go ahead and get right into it. We had a conversation this week. So if you're not following us out on Instagram, make sure you go out and follow us on Instagram because we're having conversations real time with people who are following the podcast. So we put a golden ticket out there, call us Willy Wonka like. And we asked, what do people want to hear us talk about? So we had one of our followers who is So Queen. Check her out there. She came with the topic, why does exes come back when you've pretty much moved on? You're at peace. So she's wanting us to talk about, hey, why exes come back? So fellas, what y'all think? Why do you think exes come back? Kendrick? Why do you come back? Why do you fall back?
How you figure I came back?
Okay.
How you figure I ever went back?
Okay.
But since you put it out there, I've been back. But
so why do you go back?
Why did I go back?
Yeah.
So
you don't go back anymore?
Not at all.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
Can't. But not that I can't.
Choose not to.
I choose. Yeah. Carlos. 100 points for your credit. Starting off good right now, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna see where you're at the end of the podcast. Let me get to the question before they say I be deflected, getting off topic.
You know it. You know it.
let me answer this question ASAP. I go back for like I stated, it's a number of reasons why I go back. Okay. Why I went back, but number one, I went back because the door was cracked.
Okay, so what do you mean by that?
Left the door open.
Yeah, the door was still open. There was opportunity there. It wasn't never really just shut. So I went back,
I agree with that.
Man, 150, Carlos, bro, we're going to be singing the Jefferson theme song in a minute. Moving on up. But yeah, so the door was cracked open, opportunity there to go back. And you know what they say, once you go back, I got to go back. It was something good there. So I went back.
You got to go back. What?
Because it was something good there.
So, Carlos, what about you? Have you ever gone back?
I agree. Yeah, but it was like high school. I mean, I don't know if that really counts. But in my grown adult life, I had a brief little breakup here. So that don't really count either. And then when, got back together. But by and large, I would say no, because I feel like, I think I'm kind of different from a lot of people. So I'm actually still cordial with pretty much all of my exes. I mean, it's varying levels, but I just, for one, wouldn't want to damage whatever friendship is left. And I think sometimes when you do go back and forth like that, you run the risk of, if you break up again, then you really just damage it. You just ticked off. So I don't really go back on. And to me, you always, when you do go back, a lot of times the person is going to do something to make you remember, this is why. So to not even put yourself in that situation, I would say typically it's not best practice, I think, for people to go back. But to each his own. Sometimes it can work.
Okay, so let me ask you this here, because when that topic was put out there, why exes come back when you're at peace, it was amanned a lot. A lot of women chimed in on it. They come in on it, thought it was a great topic to talk about. Do you think that they think it's a great topic to talk about because they believe men come back because he realized that maybe they were the best thing that ever happened to him, and that's why he's back, Kendrick?
That's a reason. You know, maybe he came to his senses and he's like, you know what? She was great. I can see myself with her, whether short term, long term, or for whatever reason. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Okay. Carlos, what do you think?
I think somewhat in some instances, yeah, they could be coming back because they could realize they had a good thing. But I think male or female, there is that little sense of pride everybody has where you, not necessarily you just waiting for that person to come back, but you do want them to feel like they're missing out because you're not in their life. And I think sometimes, and this could be women or men, they come back because it's easy. So sometimes you have to, if you have a series, if all of your exes are just always trying to come back to you, it could be twofold. You know, I would say whoever that person is, you know, yeah, it could maybe mean that you're great, but it also might mean you're too easy.
Yeah. And
So it could be both ways.
Yeah, and I think Kendrick brought up a good point when he said the door is cracked.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, let's
I
switch
agree.
that a little bit because I think,
So now,
yeah.
Yeah, whoa, your
you
credit
see
score
what happened
is
when we
way.
sit next to each other? Look, we get next to each other, we started agreeing.
That's true. Yeah, maybe I don't need to be in the
Kendrick,
middle
you
no
just
more.
ain't said nothing ludicrous just yet. So, stay tuned. It's coming. So, Kendrick, all Carlos. So, let's talk about that. When they do come back, why do you think people entertain their ex?
Because they hadn't moved on, or I feel like A, they haven't moved on, or B, they didn't really want the breakup to take place to begin with. And also, something that Carlos said, he stated that going back, you don't want to break up the friendship that you may have. But what if there's an understanding, you know, and going back, y'all talked about it, and both y'all agree that this is something y'all want to do, so you go back, you know, both y'all on the same page now. Y'all understand where y'all want to go, and this is where y'all at. So,
But I think that's
Yes.
different than what the question that they asked because they're saying an ex coming back and they've moved on and they're at
Yeah,
peace.
why are they coming back?
So in a way, it's almost like the person that's at peace kind of like have regrets because it's almost like they've moved on. Now their ex is back. Now that they moved on and they're at peace, you wouldn't give a crap.
so why entertain it if you're really at peace?
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
to me, you wouldn't entertain it. To me,
True.
you wouldn't. You okay?
They
Whatever.
say they moved on, but they really haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, I wonder how far have you moved on? Have you moved on far enough that
They just moved on to the new dick.
Oh, whoa, we're going to commercial break.
so yeah, Carlos, you know, how did they move on, Carlos?
Yeah,
'Cause
but I do agree.
They moved on to the new dick.
I do agree, though.
They
I
moved.
do
Excuse
agree.
me. They moved on to the new penis.
Yeah,
The
I
new-
think people
the
get
new Johnson.
people. Damn, not Johnson. I do think people confuse bodies with moving on. So just because you broke up with somebody and you had sex with XYZ, that doesn't mean that you've moved on. Technically,
Because if you moved on, there's nothing for them to come back to. If you moved on, that door, Kendrick, when you said the door is cracked,
yeah, that was good.
that was good. That
Yeah.
is so important that I think
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
was
people
good, though.
miss. Is that if the door is completely closed, it's nothing for them to come back to. And if you moved on, you're not in that same space no more anyway.
Yeah, I think it could be several things too. I think sometimes, especially in a relationship, and I would say more so in longer term relationships where you've been together with this person maybe 2 years or more, a lot of times people that you're with or exes, they hold you to who you used to be.
Yeah.
So sometimes maybe you really have moved on and you're healed and you're not really thinking about them like that. And they could be coming back because they're in the state of mind of, oh, I know you when, or I remember when you used to do XYZ, and they just assume you're going to operate the same way. So at that point, that's up to the other person to prove them wrong and basically show, no, I'm not, who I was, back when we were together.
And I'm glad that, and because the funny thing about that too is I think a lot of times in relationships, when it comes to an ex, we have to be very careful about that because we can get lost in trying to prove that we have moved on.
Mm-hmm.
We can get lost in that because we'll start entertaining them, going out with them so that we can tell them how we moved on. But you really haven't moved on.
Yeah.
You haven't moved on. You're still stuck in the same place you were before, and that's why many times exes come back.
Yep.
Because they know you're still there.
I wonder what type of peace like that. That's what intrigues me. When they say I'm at peace, I really want to know what type of peace are you experiencing. Because there's different types of peace. Or do you have a mental peace, a physical peace where you don't want to be intimate with someone, or an emotional peace where you don't want to be emotionally tied to that person again? So what type of peace are you really experiencing, before you say, I'm at peace? Or better yet, how is this person trying to get back at you,
Right.
Are they trying to come through the DM, or are they calling you on the phone,
True.
texting you? In what way are you allowing this person to get back at you? Because the truth of the matter is, after so long, you start getting that good morning text, and after so long of not replying, you're gonna break down and eventually say, "Hey, babe, good morning."
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna eventually say something back.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of times,
Yeah.
people only go back because you allow them to. I know for a fact.
And then I don't want to minimize anybody with that question because I think that there are instances where people do come back, whether they are male or female. They go back to situations because they do realize what they had was good. Mm-hmm. But most times it's that they realize what they left for is not good, so they go back to where they were.
And that works both sides too, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think on the person who is on the receiving end of that, they may be more willing to put up with the person coming back because they found everybody else out there might not be as good as the ex. Even though the ex might not even be good.
Right.
But the ex might still be above what they've experienced. And I think too, some people are just afraid of change. And sometimes the door is cracked or, whatever. They go back because they're afraid of the newness. Because it's a lot of risk involved, I think, getting into a new relationship. Because you have to be vulnerable with this totally new person. And then you have to get past the representative stage. First 3 months, everybody lies. That's what I think. So you got to get past all that.
Yeah.
And that's a lot. That's a headache to go through. And frankly, I think a lot of people, they're afraid of that, or they just don't want to have to deal with it. So sometimes it's almost like the familiar devil is better than the new one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then too, like with when people come back, I think, we always worry about the other person, but when they come back, it says a lot about you as well, more than it says about them. Mm-hmm. Because what do you do when they come back? Especially, if they left you for somebody else or whatever the case may be, how do you handle that situation when they come back? I mean, what advice would y'all give somebody how to handle that situation?
Honestly, I would just tell them to follow their gut instinct, because my thing is, you can tell somebody till you blue in the face, I don't think you should do this because it's not, it's because of this reason or because of that. But at the end of the day, people are grown. They're going to do what they want to do. So, maybe just give them advice or maybe tell them what you would do in the situation. But I don't think it's really fair to say, don't do it unless it's an abusive situation. Then then at that point I would tell that person don't go back. But sometimes you just gotta let people go back and bump their head. I mean, and maybe they won't bump their head. Maybe they'll go back and it may be different. But that's my thought. I don't think you can really tell them.
Yeah, Kendrick.
It depends on what you're going back for.
Yeah.
To me, it does. If you're going back to hook
Sound
up
like me.
and
It depends.
yeah, I know I'm on the fence, but look,
I'm not on the fence. I can just see.
if you're going back to hook up and hooking up is great, hit that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, whoa! Another commercial break.
Hit that, hit it. But like, if you're going back for a relationship and the relationship wasn't really popping from the very beginning, and the person's still the same, let that be, man. Like, there's no need to keep spinning that cycle of bad relationship. But if it's just for both y'all pleasing each other and what have you, I can see that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't knock that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
Yeah. And I think too, and this is just going back to the question where they said that they come back and this person, they're at peace and the ex come back. And I think peace with that can also be, I've just reconciled that you and I are not going to be together and I'm okay with it. Don't necessarily mean I'm over you or don't want to be with you anymore. It just means that I have reached this place that I'm okay that you and I are not together. I may want to be with you, but I'm okay that we're not together. And in that situation, the advice I would give that person is weigh it out. Weigh it out. What you've gone to get where you are, this state of peace, is it worth risking going back to the familiar, what you already know is going to happen, what can possibly happen again? Because if you guys have broken up before, it can happen again. So you have to ask yourself, what cost am I willing to pay to be back with you?
Carlos, me and you answered, have we ever went back, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever went back, Negro?
I think we've all gone back. I think we've all gone back. I think we've all gone back, and I think we've all been that person that they've come back to. I think we've all that. No. Looking back now, I think you should just continue to move especially if you reached a place of peace, continue to move in that direction. Don't risk your peace wherever you are. Don't lose all of that hard work to go back to something that you just left. And I think I've been pretty good and, being kind of positive and not being so hard. But the reality, if I was to have to answer this question, why exes come back, is because they know your cooch is on standby.
Oh,
it's on standby. That's why they're coming back.
So what if y'all have been departed for a while and you've grown, that person grown, and y'all meet up? Would y'all consider that going back?
And you talk about just hook up?
No, just like y'all started dating
together.
each other.
Yeah, it's still going back, but it's just y'all are both at a better place.
Y'all both mature.
Yeah, but it's still, to me, that's still going back. But it's
or you may not be mature.
Yeah,
you may just be some time lapsed, and you're going back. But I think when you go back to something like that, you have to be a super strong person to go back to somebody that you've taken a break from, because in that gap, more than likely they've been with somebody else.
And the ego.
Yeah, ego and insecurities arise, because at that point, when you go back to somebody, most times, not always, but most times, you have that conversation where you want that other person to be transparent about in the meantime. What happened in the meantime?
You better lie.
But I think for me,
You better lie, but it's gonna
me-
come out. It's gonna eventually come out.
if I don't think I would ask. Like I think it depends on a certain period. Now, if it's been 6 months or less, I probably would ask. But if we've been apart for like 6 months, I'm not about to ask you who you, because I don't want to know.
I ain't asking.
I don't want to know.
When we've been together,
I just
apart,
assume that you have, but I don't need to know
I don't
that.
care to know if we've been apart 3 months, a year, 2, 4. however
So
long.
if it was
I don't
a
wanna
chick
know.
that you really, really, really,
I'm not asking.
really feeling, and you wouldn't, in the back of your head, you wouldn't be thinking
I think
that
I'm not
some
gonna say,
other dude been
But
up
you're
in
just
your
not gonna
guts.
ask it. Whoa.
look, I'm not gonna
Hey.
ask. I probably think it, but I'm not asking. No.
Yeah. Now I don't think you should ask that question either.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think
Yeah.
when somebody break up, well, if it's a month or a week, or if it's a week, if it's a month, if the two of you have decided that you are no longer going to be together, whoever they are, or whatever they choose to do in that off time is off limits.
Yeah, it's their time.
Don't ask.
I don't care.
And if you can't handle that,
A week though?
yeah, a week.
3 days, a day, whatever. I don't want to know. You want to know, Carlos?
I ain't saying I want to know, but if I found out if it's a real serious relationship, and if I found out that you hooked up with some other dude in a week, then
But y'all like broke up.
yeah, but that's kind of quick.
So what?
A week. I'm sorry, that we probably wouldn't get back together.
Carlos,
Just
people
don't
giving up
let me-
quicker than that these days.
Well, that's true, they do, but don't let me find out. That's all I gotta say, cause
What you do?
we wouldn't be together, probably.
Carlos, you'll be with. I don't want to hear that.
No, I really.
If
wouldn't,
it's somebody
seriously.
you feeling,
Yeah, but a week, that's quick. I'm not talking about
so what is
a
she?
regular breakup, but I'm just talking about this is somebody you really loved, and then
So
just don't tell me.
What if-
You
what if
that'd
she
be
said-
just a lie you get away with.
what
or
if she
whatever.
said?
I don't want.
I only did
Don't
it.
tell me that.
I only
don't need to
I
know.
only did it so I can get over you, Carlos. You know, baby, that's why I did. I was in love with you. That's why I did it.
I'd be like, you lying? No.
Come
But
get this kitty, Carlos. Come on. Hey, look, we got off topic.
Yeah, we got off topic. But again, though, if
maybe I'm just kind of sensitive.
if
but I
you
just
get back together with an ex after so long, whatever they did, male or female, is off limits.
Well, I do agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't. Shoot.
You just don't want to know.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
That hurt my ego. I have insecurity then.
But wouldn't that really hurt your ego? Would that hurt your ego?
Heck yeah. Cause look, I would mentally be thinking about y'all seen the what movie is that? Dang it just
Best man.
yes. Oh, and you finna marry a girl? And look, that'll be me, bro. I was like, nah, I can't do it. What he was thinking about
Yeah.
old boy and his wife
Right,
getting it
right.
on. Yeah, man, that'll be me. I'll be thinking about it like, dang, how did he hit it? How did he hold her when they finished? Did they cuddle? Did they kiss? Like, did he shower? What did he do? Did he go raw? You know, I be thinking, man. Yeah,
Man. Go wrong. We really got some problems.
look, man. Say,
Whoa.
my mind, man. Say, I'm gonna think about every little detail. Did he have his socks on? She have her shoes on? Like, what were they doing?
Not
But
socks
see,
on.
yeah, that's a major ego. That's a major
I
ego.
told you it hurt my ego, man.
Yeah, that's a major ego thing. So
Hey,
Yeah.
that's vulnerability.
Yeah, true.
okay, moving on. So why? So I think we're all in agreement. So
Yeah.
it could be various reasons why somebody go back. It could be various reasons why they go back if you broken up. But again, it's not even so much about the ex. It's about you. and how you handle the situation when they come back. I would advise you, don't get so caught up in trying to prove to him or her that you're over them. If they call, don't answer. Don't entertain them. You don't have to try to prove to anybody that I'm over the situation, because I think that's what we try to do a lot of times, is prove I'm over you. And all you're doing is proving they still got you in that.
Especially with social media.
Yeah.
I think people use social media as a means to do that. And they'll say, oh, I'm not trying to get back at this person, or I'm not trying to prove that I'm over them. But in their actions and some of the things that they post, it shows the opposite. So, yeah.
So y'all don't think that it has anything to do with the person that's trying to come back? You don't think it got anything to do with that person?
Well, I think
Twofold.
I think it's twofold, but the person who's trying to come back is probably not as irritated as the person they're trying to get back with.
But what if the person that left is the one who initiated everything? Like, I don't want to be with you. You annoy me. I'm sick of you.
Right.
And then later on, they sit down and they take time apart and they're like, you know what? That was small. You know, wasn't that big of a deal. Let me call her. Let me call him and see if we can't fix this.
Right.
So in that case, it'll be on the person going back.
No. We go back to that you're not good enough ish. Because you just said, you make me sick, you annoy me.
Uh-oh.
They were in their feelings.
you.
Yeah. You
Don't say
gotta win abusive. This wasn't a like.
you.
This wasn't a kind. Yeah, this wasn't a kind breakup. This wasn't one of those breakups where this is not working out for the two of us, so we need to separate. This is one of those situations where you went off on me, probably slammed the door when you walked out of my house, cussed me out, all that other kind of stuff. Oh no, it ain't no.
I'm with you.
It ain't
on
no
that.
coming back on
Yeah,
that.
no.
You better stay gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Man,
And I might really, really miss her.
I'm going to.
But if it ends like that, no, you ain't coming back.
Just call, I'm Italian in that
don't
moment. You
I don't
are
care.
dead to me.
Not dead.
I'm an Italian at the moment. You dead to me.
Carlos, I think you
You think I'm what?
you gonna go back. You probably gonna hit like in the middle of the night, like I don't want nobody to know I'm leaving. Type going back. Yeah, you gonna go back.
What? No.
Kendrick,
You really
I
feeling
think
her? Yeah.
Kendrick,
It
I
depends on
really
how it
believe
ended.
that is you that
Right.
would go back because you
Right.
like a sense of drama.
Yeah, you do a little bit.
Here they go with that.
You do.
Yeah, you do. It's okay.
You
Some
probably
people-
ain't never
I
had
told-
no
look.
peaceful
Yeah.
peaceful
You wouldn't
breakup
know.
ever.
Yeah, right.
I told y'all that.
You had a peaceful
When was this?
breakup?
Yeah.
Really?
When they said, Kendrick, I don't think this is working
working out,
out
and you just
between
said, okay,
you and I.
and
You're a
we
great
just-
guy.
Maybe
but
it
this is
was-
not working out.
Maybe it was Kendrick saying, "Hey, see, I'm not feeling this. No, I had fun while it lasted, but yeah, it's
We're not talking about no hookup situation. We're talking about a real relationship.
real relationship. This ain't for
And
me.
you just walk away like that,
Yeah,
and what they do?
I had to grab my bag and I left
And what she do? She
my
just
shoe. Yeah.
shoot,
And that was it.
and you
That was
just
it.
walked out.
Walked out.
And you never ever heard from her again.
The door was cracked. You get that on your way home.
So it was odd.
Y'all didn't get it? Look,
I did.
I
think.
got it.
My shoe.
Yeah.
I had to go back.
You
I
had
had
to go
get
back.
my
The
other
door
shoe.
was
Yeah.
I
cracked.
left my other shoe. I had to go get my shoe, baby.
Yeah.
So ladies, take this from this here. When he
Yeah.
leaves, you pack his shit up for him.
Nah.
Don't leave
Yeah.
nothing
Need no toothbrush.
behind. No toothbrush, no,
no
underwear, no
deodorant,
shoes, nothing.
None of that.
Let
No
him-
magazines, nothing.
Yeah.
Let him pack it. I'm gonna tell you ladies what to do. Trust me. Tell y'all what to do. Let him pack his stuff. You ladies watch him pack it. And as soon as he go out the door, whatever he leave, put it in the bag, set it by the door. If he want it so bad, He'll come grab his bag. You every morning step over that bag. Do not touch that bag and all.
But depending
Ladies,
on what
don't
it
take
is,
that advice.
yeah.
Why not?
You don't even want him to come back to your place.
And depending on
At
what it is,
all.
somebody gonna snatch
Hold
it
on,
up.
hold on. If she pack his stuff,
Yeah, you don't want it.
but hold on. If she pack it and she forgets something, guess what he gonna do? He gonna come back and say you forgot something. No, let him pack his own stuff. Cause if he leaves something, you put it in the bag. You can A, throw it in the trash, or B, sit it outside.
You
tell
throw
him
it in
it's
the trash,
outside.
lady. You
And
throw it
let
in the
be.
trash.
And you wipe your hands with it. She ain't got nothing to do with it. Good advice, Carlos.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say.
Oh,
the only-
hell, never mind.
I would just say
Never mind.
if they call, I like to put it outside the door, but I'm just saying if it's like 10 days, somebody might steal it, depending on what it is.
He or she had ample amount
But
of
okay,
time to
so
come
but
get it.
Kendrick, that's leaving the door open for her because every time she walked through her door, she has to be
See that.
reminded
Yeah.
that of him.
It's gonna build.
Throw his shit in the trash. If he left it, he don't want it.
Every time she go in there, she gonna be reminded of him. Every
When?
time she go in the apartment or the house, wherever they stay, she gonna be reminded of him. Oh, I remember when we sat right here and watched The Notebook. I remember when we did this.
Not
when
The
we put it
Notebook.
together.
Who watched the Notebook?
I do.
Notebook.
Great movie.
Really?
Look,
Uh-huh.
you ain't seen it?
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's all right.
good movie, right? Y'all
Sorry.
whack, bro. You
I
ain't
didn't
never
like it
seen
that
I've
much.
seen the Notebook.
You
Kind
like
of fell asleep on
It's
it.
a pretty good movie. Nothing I would be on the podcast.
Can't write
talking
home about, but
Man, I do.
It's
I
all
watch
right.
it all the time.
Okay.
really,
If it come on TBS,
Really?
yeah.
Ladies, that's his Netflix and chill.
yeah.
Nah, I don't.
Netflix
Yeah,
and
if
he
you-
don't
You
have
gave me wrong
Netflix and
Netflix
chill.
information.
If he put on, if he
has
put on Notebook,
Netflix and Phil.
I don't even got Netflix because he gave me the wrong information.
Man, I gave you the right
No, he
account.
didn't.
I gave you the right
You
account.
said you was gonna call and give me the right account. I
Okay,
can't
so
wait.
for all of y'all ladies
you.
that have been to his house and he just instantly say, "Oh, Netflix not working tonight. Let's just go straight to the feeling part." He playing y'all. He got the account.
yeah.
Ain't nobody coming over to my crib, man. So I don't even do Netflix and chill. That's whack to me.
Oh, is it
So no Netflix and chill, Kendrick.
No,
Really?
None in the last 6 months.
really?
Not one.
no,
Really?
no
One.
Netflix, chill,
Really?
no nothing.
Okay. Hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and end this podcast right now. We're gonna go ahead and end this podcast because once we start lying on the podcast, it's time to go ahead and end it.
Holla.
Yeah, but before we end it, I definitely want to give a shout out to 3 ladies, phenomenal women that check out the podcast weekly. They follow us on Instagram. They comment. They keep the conversation live. That is author Tasha Hutchins.
Yeah.
Author Tasha Hutchins. Check her out. She posts phenomenal, positive stuff on her page. Check her out. Tippy2. Check her out. She comments on the things.